The Gokyo contains most of the popular techniques of modern judo, but some significant throws are omitted. In particular, Ippon Seoinage and Marotigari, two of the most widely used throws. In Kosotogaki, uke is driven backwards over an outside blocking leg. Tori moves in towards uke and forces him over the outside blocking leg, throwing him to the rear. Tori's foot does not sweep, but blocks uke's leg. Karnik of Canada surprisingly counters his Japanese opponent for a spectacular ippon. The Japanese begins to attack with a left uchimata, but then Karnik moves round and hooks round the leg and drives his opponent over it. Harry van Barneveld brilliantly fakes direction for a classic Kosotogaki. Look at the fake, then the change of direction, plants the foot on the floor and drives him over it. Nakamura's bear hug Kosotogaki scores a brilliant ippon. Look at the contact he gets from the bear hug, then the foot on the floor, then the drive. Brilliant stuff. Gill of Canada throws brilliantly with a left ouchigari Kosotogaki combination. There's the driving ouchigari, then the Kosotogaki and the hips just to finish it. With Surigoshi, Tori's arm goes over uke's back and lifts into the hip throw. With a traditional sleeve grip, Tori reaches over the shoulder and secures the jacket or the belt and lifts uke onto his hips. Here, Olympic champion Nowak of France performs a classic Surigoshi. So we saw Karen Briggs respond to the pressure. Can Novak come back? Hip throw in the middle! Look how Novak secures the belt in a traditional way, throws the hips across, and that pulling action with the arm, and the rotation to finish it. Next, world champion Stéphane Treneau of France.
Actually changed it to a Rosari and then he threw for France.
Oh, yes! What a score! What a fantastic score!
Surigoshi again.
The Treneau of France, a specialist with this technique, secures the belt, throws the hip across, and that pulling action finishes it off. And here he is again for an Olympic champion, Kovacs of Hungary, at the 1995 European Championships. Secures the belt, throws the hip across, and there's the drive. Yoko Otoshi is a dropping throw to the side. Securing a traditional grip, Tori stretches out a leg alongside uke and drives uke sidewards with a pulling action of the sleeve. This spectacular competition example from Kosminin of Russia has him grasping the belt to make the technique more effective. With Ashiguruma, Tori wheels uke over a lower sweeping leg. The sweeping leg hits uke's legs between the knee and the ankle, and Tori rotates uke over his leg but not his hip. Weidenbosch of Holland does a triple combination, ending with Ashiguruma. The first eni, which is an Ashiwaza, makes his opponent move his leg, then he hops into the uchimata, and after 3 attempts, puts his leg across and blocks the ankle and rotates his opponent over it for a fantastic Ashiguruma. Olympic champion Gazainov wins the European Championships with Ashiguruma. Look at the incredible rotation he gets, blocks the foot, and it almost moves into Uchimata for the finish. Four times world champion Ogawa of Japan throws with a classic Ashiguruma. Ogawa of Japan, left-handed fighter, throws the left leg across and wheels his opponent over. With Hanigoshi, Tori's attacking leg is bent to lift the thigh of Uki. Similar to the Uchimata entry, Tori rotates his body towards Uki and uses his bent attacking leg to lift and control Uki. Hanigoshi is rarely, though, used in competition. This competition example probably started as Uchimata. With Uki blocking the original Uchimata, Tori then makes an adjustment and ends up executing the technique with a bent leg. For Harai Surikomiyashi, Tori sweeps Uki's rear leg backwards. Tori moves forward into the throw in order to sweep Uki's rear foot and rotate them onto their backs. From a flurry of attacks, double world champion Shinohara of Japan performs a classic Harai Surikomiyashi. Shinohara secures the dominant grip, rotates his opponent round, then steps into and sweeps the rear foot for the Harai Surikomiyashi. From a different direction, Brian Olsen of the USA steps forward to sweep his opponent's rear foot. Borderline to Sasai Surikomiyashi, Olsen differentiates by stepping into the technique and attacking the rear foot. With Tomonagi, Tori places his foot in Uki's stomach and rotates him over the foot. Tori throws himself backwards as he places his foot into Uki's stomach. The momentum of the throw forces Uki to forward roll onto his back. Here I use an Uchimata Tomonagi combination. By controlling the sleeve and drawing my opponent to the side, I then place my foot into the stomach and rotate my partner onto his back. In the final of the European Championships, Lats of Belgium scores Ippon with a one-handed Tomonagi variation. With just a lapel grip, he falls underneath his opponent, takes him cleanly onto his back. Foot being placed firmly into the stomach, and in front of the home crowd, Lats becomes European champion. De Montfaucon of France scores a side variation in the European Club Cup. Drawing his opponent clearly to the side, he places his foot in the stomach and cleanly rotates his opponent flat on his back. With Kataguruma, Tori lifts Uki onto his shoulder and wheels them onto their backs. Tori ducks his head under the high arm of Uki, then throws his arm through the legs. Catching Uki on the shoulders, Tori then unloads Uki to the side front. In competition, Kataguruma is usually done off the knees. This is Rosso of France throwing Hideshima of Japan. Hideshima bridges, but Ippon is still scored. Kate Howie of Great Britain attempts the stand-up Kataguruma, but has to change direction in order to score Ippon and to win the World Championships. The entry for the technique is for Kataguruma, but the German's evasive action prevents the full lift. World champion Jimmy Pedro of the USA drops on his knees for his entry and then powers back up again to unload his opponent onto his back. Here's the dropping entry to force the arm through the legs and to catch his opponent on his back, and there's the offload flat on his back. Volkowicz of Poland does a running Kataguruma and scores Ippon on his Russian opponent. There's the arm through the legs, there's the drive, and there's the offload. World champion Membadou de France has a Kataguruma entry, but finishes the technique with ukiwaza. There's the Kataguruma entry and there's the drive,